Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Thursday, the 19th of December. I am Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. You'll have to excuse the attire. Been to one of them things where you have to wear a Christmas jumper. That happens like for a lot of people. This is what is currently in my wardrobe to represent Christmas jumper. So I think some would question what's festive about it, but it's sort of got them sort of patterns that make it look like a Christmas jumper. There we go. That's what I've got. So, do you know? I've just felt the need. I'm not even going to change for the video. There it is. Right. Horse racing. Oh, you want? That's what you're interested in. Is horse racing. Okay. So Thursday, I'm playing 5. Not where I expected to play, and to be fair, I didn't even. I'm surprised I found 5, but I found 5. And yeah, there's some other things I looked at that were a bit punty, and I've left them, and I've just gone for the 5 I am most happy with. That is what we're playing. There are 3 at Ffos Las. True fact, I don't tend to back much at Ffos Las, and in fact, since I've been back on the channel, I have not put a selection up at Ffos Las. I have 3 today. 2 at Southwell, where statistically it's not been brilliant. It's not the worst all-weather track we've that's Kempton in the last few months, but Southwell, which is a bit of a shame because actually I was hoping to find some Exeter ones and Chelmsford ones, because since I've been back on the channel I've put up 3 horses at Exeter, 2 of them framed, and I've put up 5 horses at Chelmsford, 1 won and 2 placed. So actually there were 2 good statistical tracks if you like to follow very, very short term, very tiny trends. There we go. So I've got to do the review of Wednesday and then we'll get into Thursday's bet. I'm going to try and keep it much briefer than last night. My brain is sort of shutting down, so I think my reasoning for telling you what horses I've picked might be a bit limited. So if you've got any specific questions, you could put them in the comments. I'll aim to get back to you when I've got a moment. But yeah, all right. So review of Wednesday. We started the week well, didn't we? It was a good one. So we had Spring's a Girl. It's great when stuff plays out like how you hope it does. So Spring's a Girl. That race. My recollection was that last night I said to you there was a Henderson favourite that I thought was really short priced, only because it was a Henderson horse, and then there was 3 others that I thought were pretty closely matched. And the horse that began with the letter Q, which I couldn't remember, was the one that probably was the one that should have been favourite. Now, it's great when it works, isn't it? Because actually, yes, the Henderson horse went from 6-4 to something like 7-2 about 45 minutes before the race. That massive drift. So, those of you around when we talked about overround, 6-4 out to 7-2 is huge. The horse that bang with Q did go into favouritism, and then the others sort of slightly shortened up. And then 45 minutes before the race, they pulled out the horse that begins with Q, the Alistair Ralph horse, on the basis of going. I'm not sure it was that different at Ludlow. 45 minutes before the race, which meant we got absolutely caned for a 40p Rule 4. Slightly depends on where you put the bet on this one. I'll explain at the end, but 40p is what universally I think it was, because the horse that came out the favourite was 6-4 in most places at that point. So I'm taking 40p Rule 4 for the channel. But Springs a Girl went on and battled away and won nice. Then 125 Ludlow, you're going to be plucky, wasn't plucky. Well, plucky went from the front, dropped back halfway, not sighted. And then this race also was the second race where it went well, because there was one other horse that I thought had potential, but I really just thought it was really overpriced. Got well backed in before the off, 9-1 it went off. Battled on to well to win, and a nice finish. We had 2 winners there, so 12s into 4s, but Channel had 12s with a 40p Rule 4 deduction. So if you factor that Rule 4 deduction, it actually works out about 7.2-1, and that was backed into 9s. And then the Kempton ones, there was a 5-hour wait to see if we could land a decent day for the channel. Well, it was a decent day, but a bumper day for the channel. Hieronymus went from the front and faded. Rhythm and Rock literally just stayed at the back the whole way. Didn't like it, didn't fancy it. So we got back two win doubles on the Yankees basically, and then singles on Springs a Girl, and then go. It's not Godot, is it? It's Godot. I was half in mind last night when I was reading it and stuff, because you technically would phonetically read that as Godot, but yes, Godot as in waiting for Godot. There's a famous was it book and a play, something like that. Someone made a reference about it in the comments as well. I think it was Gomez. It was quite an amusing comment. But yes, Godot. So anywho, we had a 3-star winner, which is the first 3-star winner we've had since I've been doing the starring system. So that was nice. The extra double over here, there was a bit of a confusion on that one because I wrote the wrong thing. It was 35, should have been 45. I'll count it as 45 for the total for the channel. If you did everything written down here, that became 1580. For the channel, I'm counting it 60. So what I would say is it ended up being about 75. It was 75.95 profit. I think it was 91.95 back, which is very good. Obviously, not everybody would have got price. Depends on what you were looking at. That was freely available for quite a long time. 12s, even a bit this morning. As was Godot. 20s quite freely available before it started to go in a little bit. So anyone who's sort of betting reasonably early would have got those prices, which is grand. If you took the advice and went 365, then you would have not got the quarter of the odds that everybody else got. You'd have got fifth of the odds. You were slightly worse off by doing Betfred. Sorry, did I say 365? Betfred. You'd be slightly worse off, but actually, I know from personal experience, I'm not quite sure how or why, but the rule 4 I placed a bet with Betfred on that horse, and I got a 35p rule 4 when I believe it should have been 40p. So what that meant was, if you were like me and you placed a bet like this with Bet365, even though you only got a fifth of the odds, not a quarter of the odds for the place part of it, which also impacted double, because it was only 35p rule 4 on that one, it basically meant you would have been about a quid or two better off. So if you did do Betfred, I do believe it was the best place to put the bet on. The channel counted that as quarter of the odds first two, and that was quarter of the odds as well. Right, hopefully that makes sense. That's where we're at with that. Oh, it's already gone on longer than I thought. Oh yeah, and Thursday's bet's not the most straightforward, is it, folks? Oh no, here we go. Oh, and I haven't even told you the other thing about Thursday's bet. Thursday's bet, I got a 5-star horse. I've got a 5-star horse, 12-1 at Southwell. So I'm a little bit reluctant because the all-weather's been so ropey. And I've had one 5-star horse. It was a big price, wasn't it, in like a novice race, and it was very good, but it was a massive price. This one is a 12-1 shot in a handicap. So yes, second 5-star horse since I've been back, because I think anyone who's joined recently doesn't even know I do 4 and 5 stars. The star system goes up to 5, but it's banked in a way that basically means you don't get very many 5 and 4 stars. So here is what we've got. All right, let me talk you through 132 Ffos Las. They're all in an hour and a half of each other as well. So there's nothing super early and nothing in the evening. So 132 Ffos Las, Portobello Girl. We backed it last time it was due to run, and it was a non-run. It was much bigger price, slightly better quality race. This is a slightly less good race, therefore the price is a bit shorter. 9 runners, I think it is. 22s, comes out 1 star this time. We are trying again on Portobello Girl and hope we'll get a run for it. We're then going 145 Southwell, the Bay Warrior. A bit of a stalwart on the channel. It's been on the channel bet quite a lot of times. 1 star, 10-1, 4 places on 6 bookies on that race, and so there is a bit of bookie advice here. So Betfred, Sky, Unibet, 365, Betway, Boyle Sports are all 4 places on that one. So those 6 bookmakers will give you an advantage. We've then got the 207 Ffos Las. Class 5 handicap, but it's a decent enough price. So it's come out as 2 star. Bob Marley, 16s in places I think you can still get, but it came out nicely on my ratings. It should easily be single figures the way I looked at it. So Bob Marley's in 14s. Then we're going 242 Ffos Las, A Moment's Madness. Hopefully this bet is not that. 1 star, 12-1, and then we're finishing off 5 star, 255 Southwell. it gets me nervous. Like it's putting the star system out there. It's a 12-1 shot on the all weather because the all weather's just it is what it is, right? I've done this star system and this is what's come out. So let's put it to the test. Our second 5-star horse. Don't put your house on it, folks. Chola Empire 5-star. All you'll see in my bet is I've factored it up in the singles. That's all I've done. I've basically you'll see sort of if a 75p each way single on normal, we got £2 each way single on it. So Chola Empire, why is it 5-star? The only negative is last time out it didn't run well, and I think you can excuse it. It was a night in Chelmsford. It was one of them nights where the weather was atrocious and it was horrible where the track ran slow that night. As in, some of you appreciate it. In all weather tracks, most times they run standard. Some run standard to slow. It basically just means it's a bit slower down. And that horse, generally speaking, doesn't run on standard slow very often. And so I think you can excuse it. Now the niggle is, what if something actually went wrong with it, and that's why it's there. It usually runs very consistently. 4 times in the last 2 years, it's run over course and distance, and that's where it's basically got its best Racing Post rating. If you look at that, so Racing Post rating, I think it's running off 75. 3 of those have got 85, and one of them got 82. So that's nice and like a good barometer sometimes to have a look at these things. So the 4 times run over course and distance, it's run competitively, and its best races have been that. So optimum conditions, coming off a flop, which is the only negative, which is why we've got it on a decent price, which is why it comes out so well on the star system. Had it not flopped last time, it'd easily be half the price, and I'd still think it's probably backable. I just, if it was 5-6 to 1, I wouldn't be putting it on the channel. The bookie advice, watch out here, is if you use Betfred, Sky or Unibet, there's 3 bookies that will give you 4 places. Now for the channel, technically speaking, I could claim that, but I'm just being super clear and upfront. Even though 365 will probably go 4 places in the morning, I will take 3 on the channel, and I'm taking 3 because I think it's the fairest way to do this bet. Because if I take 3, I can take 12 to 1. If I was taking 4 places, I'd have to put that 11 to 1. And then if you start looking about, if I was looking at what prices could you achieve, because Sky and Unibet are a bit short on some of these others. So like Sky and Unibet only 11s on here. So Betfred is the best bookmaker again today. So Betfred's the best one because you would get 4 and you would get a decent, and you'd get these, you'd achieve all of these prices with Betfred with 4 places on both of those. For the channel, I will claim 3 places only on that 5-star horse, and I 5-starred it on that basis. So the bet is, this is, those who've been around for a few weeks, you're going to get the gig here. We're going to have the main bits with some extras. So 10 times 10p win doubles, 10 times 10p each way trebles, 5 times 10p each way 4-folds, and a 25p each way 5-fold. We've then got 75p each way singles on Portobello Girl, Bob Marley and Moments of Madness. A £1 win single on Bay Warrior, a bit shorter, so we're just going to go win only. And then a £2, so that's our 5-star stake, £2 each way single on Chola Empire. I haven't done anything particularly fancy else in the doubles, but just for the extras, what I've done here is 25p each way Trixie, each way doubles and trebles on the Ffos Las trio. So that's legs 1, 3 and 4, Ffos Las trio. And then a 50p each way double on the Southwell pair, which is legs 2 and leg 5. So that's 450. Singles are 950, and then we've got an extra £3 over here. It makes the whole thing 17. As I said, Betfred are slightly better, then Sky and Unibet, and then 365, Betway and Boyle Sports. So for the channel, I'm claiming standard terms, 4 places, 3, 3 and 3. But you can achieve 4 on 3 bookmakers, and potentially 365 probably after 9 o'clock might make that 4 places as well. That's it, £17. All right. Plan to be back tomorrow. Plan to do some channel stats I've got a bit of comparison data and stuff I've been looking at, so I'm probably going to go into that. There was something else I was probably going to ramble about, can't remember now, but that was that. Yeah, in tomorrow's video, that is what the plan is. But yeah, good start to the week. And what, 75 quid up, 17 on, so that's like 50. So I'm not going to be spending 58 between Friday and Saturday. So we're going to come out nicely. We will come out with some level of profit, even if we flunk out the next 3 days. So if you want, well, on Wednesday, Rambo. I might talk about. Yeah, I was going to talk about cash out. So I haven't done that for a while. That will be on tomorrow's ramble. But yeah, we'll come out profitable. So, and this is part of the discipline, right? Up for the week, off of Wednesday's bets. If you stick with the path, you will come out ahead this week, whatever, because we're not going to be laying down the £75 we've lost. So therefore, that's what the channel does. Therefore, my advice to you is also don't go gung-ho, don't go silly and go, or particularly as I've put a 5-star, that's another reason I'm mindful about a 5-star, putting up that after a nice day. People will be like, oh, you must really like this one. Just telling you from a value perspective, that horse could absolutely be a heck of a lot shorter and I'd still back the horse. That's what the star system indicates. It doesn't indicate the chance the horse has of winning. It indicates that the differential between the price and the price I believe it should be is very, very great. And I would have Chola Empire much shorter. Trying to remember actually what I had it on my tissue. Something probably, to be honest, something about like 3s. That's probably where I back the horse. So yeah, below 6 wouldn't put it on the channel, but yeah, I think that's probably whereabouts it came out. Maybe even 5-2, something like that. All right, that's it. Thank you very much. I'm off to bed. So if you're watching this in the morning, that'll sound weird, but I recorded it last night. If you're watching it tonight, you'll understand what that means. All right, thanks very much. If you are new, by the way, there was quite a bit of a subscriber bounce from the last video. If you are new and you want the deets and stuff, look in the description of each video. It gives you a whole bunch of information. If you also look at the about part of the channel, then you can actually see what I'm about. I don't go into all the detail every single day, otherwise it would be here all day. I've just taken 17 minutes to tell you 5 horses. But so yeah, it's in there. But if you've got questions, feel free to ask. But yes, just because we had 2 winners on Wednesday, we might not have any winners the rest of the week. That could be it done. So yeah, not every day is a nice price winner day. That's how it works. Thank you. All right. Bye bye.